So one day, several years ago, oh, by the way, that's the same story, just a little bit different angle. I told you about the house. Now I will tell you about how I was organizing my event, in-person life event, all by myself, preparing everything from content to marketing, for everything. And of course, I got the team at the end, but I was doing all 3 months almost all by myself. So I needed, the first thing was, first of all, it was divine guidance. So divine guidance, the idea came to me out of nowhere. It just hit me. Do the event. That's all it said. And I knew it was divine guidance. Again, I am experienced in it. So I knew it was divine guidance and I need to do it. I immediately started my preparations, my work. And that's what my point, the teaching point here is, once you got divine idea, you will be placed in, because you're following this idea, you will be placed in the green light flow. And that's the second benefit, right? Green light flow, when everything is easier. You still do the work, but it's easier. And that's how it was for me. So I needed a place. The first thing you do is you look for a place, because it wasn't virtual at that time. I needed a place and I needed it locally, but I had no idea. So what would normal person do? They would sit at the computer and they would type and search for places, right? I've never done that, meaning I can do it, but I didn't want to do it because it wasn't divine guidance. I went to the school. Every day I would go to school to pick up my little daughter. And I'm standing there because one entrance had parents who wanted to park and go and meet the child. So that's what I was doing. And there was always a teacher, attending teacher on staff at right there at the place at the entrance. So we started talking. I was first in line, and we started talking. And I just mentioned casually about that I'm creating the event and I need a place. Immediately, she said, oh, I know a place they just built. It's brand new. It's a new company, opened the place, and it's specifically for this type of events. They rent out and the rooms and everything is there for the event. So it's not even a hotel with a ballroom. It's actually a special place. So I was so amazed, and I did go there very quickly. And I got the place. It was perfect. It was perfect. So that's how easy it was. I did not need to hustle, struggle, look for it, search, go through tons of vendors. I found the place. It was perfect. And everything else has been done the same way, in a green light flow. Easy and perfect, even though I had to do the work. I had to drive there, I had to talk to the person, I had to, rent it and so forth, pay a deposit and everything. But everything was in a very much better, easier way, because I was supported, surrounded, and signs were flooding me. So I knew what I was doing. And at the end, I looked at my event and I said, oh my goodness, I have created and performed and done the event that was perfect. It was so perfect. There was any single issue that happened. You know how when you organize something, light goes off, or electricity, or something breaks, or this breaks, something happens, right? Your PowerPoint presentation doesn't work, or something else. Or there's always something that you do not know about when it comes. So for me, nothing like that. It was absolutely perfect. And later on, because I was in a mastermind at that time, I heard one woman was talking about her experience doing live event as well, and she was complaining how so many obstacles were on the way, and even electricity, even light went out. So for some time, whole room was sitting in the dark. So of course she was stressed. it wasn't a nice experience. So she was lamenting how hard it was to go through this because of so many obstacles. And I felt so sorry for her because I knew she didn't follow divine science. She was creating that event from the human perspective. She either relied on her own experience and her own knowledge, or other humans' experiences and current knowledge. She could not possibly predict that the electricity would go out. She could not possibly predict all her obstacles that she had to overcome later on during the event. And imagine when you're stressed, you're not enjoying yourself, and you can, if you're an entrepreneur, you know what I'm talking about. So I felt so bad for her, and I compared this to my experience, and I said, well, what do you prefer? I said it to myself, what do you prefer, this experience or this experience? And of course, no brainer for me, 27 years in the making, I know what I prefer. So my question for you, what do you prefer?